But let's just say this. The movie is really about this man, whose name is not Tyrone, by the way. I was like, wait, who is Tyrone? Why do they keep calling this man's name is not Tyrone? His name is not Tyrone. John Boyega's character is not named Tyrone. But it's about this man. He is participating in the, let's say, underground economy. And he gets into a pickle with this other man who is also involved in the underground economy. And they uncover a truth about their neighborhood that people are being cloned. It's wild the way they found out. It is wild the way when they found out why people are being cloned and what happens to the people who are being cloned, what happens when the clones die. This movie is wild. It is so imaginative, but this is exactly the kind of thing that we've come to expect from macro. So I think that we also talk about macro all the time. Charles King, have y'all heard me say that name before? I'm sure you have. Charles King is the president and the founder of macro. So macro, Charles King is one of my modern day cinematic heroes. He started out as an agent, and then he got like big to the top of his field. He was the biggest black agent in Hollywood, and then he started his own film company. So macro was responsible for films like Mudbound that had Mary J. Blige in 2017. He did Fences with Denzel and Viola in 2016. Sorry to Bother You was theirs. Raising Dion on Netflix. And I think we talked about Raising Dion in this show twice. I love that show. Judas and the Black Messiah, which we definitely talked about on this show. And now they Cloned Tyrone. So Charles King and his wife and their company are doing incredibly innovative black storytelling right now. We love them so much. We love Charles King. They also are doing a lot of stuff in community. They have an investment firm in addition to their film firm, and they have a whole talent agency. So they're really thinking about ecosystem level, black abundance, empowerment, making sure that the stories that our stories are being told. Charles King is on top of that, okay? Oh, snap. We're live. My God, how did this happen? You know what? You know you ever have... You know what's happening to me in my life right now? I got so much going on that I only can do the thing that's right in front of me. And so all of a sudden, I'm in a podcast studio. Surprise! Welcome to season 5 of the Big Weeb Podcast. My nephew does it all the time. So, I mean, wow, y'all. I don't know that I ever expected that there'd be a season 5, but here we are. We have made it 5 seasons. I feel very proud and excited about this season. I have so much to tell you because, of course, I haven't seen you in 6 months. Well, actually, you've seen me never on a podcast because we've literally never released video of our podcast. And all of a sudden, we have upgraded, okay? In the spirit of Beyonce, we are upgrading this podcast. And we now have a whole new producer. We're in an actual studio with things that I love and cameras. And it's like actual real microphone, not the microphone in my living room. And lots of things have changed. We're not about to rewind the whole last 6 months because you were there. You know what happened. But I will tell you about this season. So, season 5, this is crazy. So, the last season, you remember, if you haven't listened to last season to season 4, you should go back. It's really, really juicy. Last season, our theme was about Black creatives. And so every episode had a Black creative from Memphis who we talked to. We talked to Cherie, we talked to Taliba, we talked to Essa, we talked to so many, those conversations were really amazing. You really should go back and listen if you haven't. We talked to I Make Mad Beats, so great. And so, of course, y'all know that every season, the theme of this season is really just like what I'm really thinking about a lot because I want to talk about it some more with whoever's in the room with me and with you. Now, full disclosure, today, the only people in the room with me is me. So I'm going to be talking to myself. You get to watch me talk to myself. It happens in my house all the time. And now you get to watch me do it. I've been asking myself all day, why am I like this? You know why? Because I got a present this morning. Well, that's not true. I got a present a week ago and I haven't opened it because it's a birthday present. And today I opened it. You will never guess what it was. I literally screamed a scrum that I have never scrummed before. It was a Princess Leia lightsaber. First of all, it's humongous. It's like this big. It is rose gold and white, and it has a purple light in the lightsaber. It is heavy. It's like I could kill somebody with that thing. I could just be like, boom, I don't need the lightsaber part. I could just boost you on the head and it would be over with. And my sister bought it for me. And so I've been like, why are you crying? Because you got a lightsaber? And now I'm like, why are you being weird again? Because this is just how I am. I was born like this. I love myself and you love me too. So there. Okay, let's get into it. Season 5. So, the theme of the season, are you ready? I don't know how to do a drum roll. That's not how a drum roll sounds. Season 5 theme is Black abundance. Woo! I'm really excited about this, y'all, because this is all I think about right now. You know, I've been wearing this abundance chain around my neck for the past couple of years, and we've been talking about it a lot here, and even on the Love Over Empire podcast. Shout out to my beautiful friend Princeton James, co-host of the pod for Love Over Empire. We talked about abundance a lot on that podcast. And so I figured it would be a wonderful opportunity for us to really dig into Black abundance and have some folks on who could talk to us about their view and experience of Black abundance. I have some really awesome people coming this season, so really buckle up and make sure you come back. And today, my amazing, awesome guest again is me. I have a lot to say too, so let's go. Okay, so everybody knows this is a podcast about Black culture, looking at life through the lens of Black imagination, thinking about the stories we should be paying attention to so that we can help make the stories that we want to create in the future. So it's our favorite segment. It's the Pop 3. So the Pop 3 this week, I'm very excited about it because the first thing I want to talk about is Aundre 3000. Now, we all know how Anasa Troutman feels about Aundre 3000. We're obsessed. We've been obsessed. We gonna be obsessed. We waiting. I be looking around, waiting for him to show up with that little flute and that little rusty bag he got. I don't know where he is today, but wherever he is, he knows that I love him, and I know that you love him. So, about a month ago, Killer Mike came out with a new album. And on that album is a song called Scientists and Engineers. And on that song is a verse by Aundre 3000. Oh my God. And it's amazing. And that's not even the really important part. You should go listen to the song. If you haven't heard the song, you should listen to it. It's a great song. You know, we love Killer Mike. Not as much as Aundre 3000, but we give him what he got. But Aundre's verse is amazing. It's so good. It's so good. And it's just so good to hear his voice. It's like raindrops in the desert when you hear him rapping on rap. But also, the really exciting thing is that Killer Mike in an interview said that Aundre was working on a what? That's the old album? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Well, I'm about to shake this table. Shaking the table. Aundre 3000 is coming out with an album. Now, we respect Aundre and we love that he wants to express himself. And I'm just hoping it's not 100% a flute album, or at least it could be a double album. He could have one side be all flute all the time and the other side be a full album. Now, Aundre, I love you. If you put a flute album out, I'm going to buy it. I'm going to listen to it. I'm going to like it. I just want to caution you that maybe other people don't love you as much as I do. And maybe you should think about diversifying your music life right now. And also, I just want to say, This is funny because about 2 months ago, I tried to convince somebody to bring you to Memphis to do a flute concert. I'm not even lying, hand to God. I was like, we should just bring Aundre and have a flute concert. Otherwise, he's not coming. So I'm just saying, if you want to put out a flute album and you want to come to Memphis and do a flute concert, I will promote it for you. I got you. And I will be in the middle, in the front row. I will clap loud because I love you. So everybody, look out for that album. Y'all know good and well, when it comes out, we're going to talk about it. If we're not in the middle of the season, we're going to have a special episode just for that album. Do not worry. We'll have a listening party. All right? All right. So Killer Mike and Aundre 3000, and we love you. Now, next up in the top 3 of things you should be paying attention to right now is this new show on Netflix. It's called Survival of the Thickest. Now, I am going to admit to you that I have not seen it yet because, like I told you, I'm real busy right now and I can only do one thing at a time. But I have a lot of friends who have seen it, and like when they start watching it, they can't stop. Now, y'all know the people who star in this show. The main star is Michelle Buteau. I don't know if y'all remember her. Michelle Buteau is like the funniest Black woman on TV right now. I love her so much. She's been in so many amazing things. She always plays like the Black sidekick, the funny Black plus size sidekick in the white people's comedy. Like, she's become very well known for that, and she's really good at it. And she finally got her own show where she is a star, she is a sinner. It's all her all the time, and it's, from what I hear, very amazing. Okay, so I want to take a moment while we're talking about Survival of the Thickest to just do like a little retrospective on Tone Bell because I feel like more people need to know who he is, right? I feel like Michelle Buteau, I'm not trying to take away from her. We love you, Michelle Buteau. I have a friend who watches that show that you do. What's the name of that show? The Circle? Wow. These people out here loving you on The Circle. It's not my favorite, but I did watch that one season, and I did like that woman who was hearing impaired on there. So, like, shout out to you. But I really want to just say for a second, like, I don't know if y'all know how much I love Tone Bell. I learned about Tone Bell maybe 5 years ago. Y'all remember that lady who plays Addison Montgomery on Grey's Anatomy? She had a show where she was a judge. It was like a little short-lived 30-minute comedy. And it was so funny, but it was funny because Tone Bell is a comedic genius. His timing is impeccable. He is so adorable. He's like so super fine man. Oh, you know what, we shout out Tone Bell because Tone Bell is a Leo, and today is the first day of Leo season, baby. What? Who is a Leo out here? Me? That's why it's the best. You know, they say Christmas is the best time of the year. Really, Leo season is the best time of the year. And all of my good friends who are Leos, we all know it, and y'all know it too. And Tone Bell knows it. So Tone Bell, the show that he was on is called Bad Judges, where I first saw him. And then I saw him again in that show, that movie United States versus Billie Holiday, where Aundre played Billie Holiday. She was ridiculous in that movie. Did we talk about that on the pod this season 3 or 4? I don't remember. But if you haven't seen Aundre in the United States versus Billie Holiday, you need to go see it now. Also, I might as well just go ahead and tell you now because it just happened. I got braces on Wednesday, and I can't really talk. So sometimes I get a little bit caught up. So there you go. Now you know why I'm talking like this. So Tone Bell also has a show on Netflix called Drink Masters. I really want to spoil the surprise for you at the end and tell you who won, but it is like a bartender competition show. Wow, what a show. Oh my God. Now I do like competition shows, but whatever. So anyway, shout out to Leo, shout out to Tone Bell, shout out to Drink Masters winner. You know who you are. Wink, wink. And I'm assuming I love that show. I'm going to watch it next week. I'll tell you if I do or not, but I'm pretty sure with Michelle Buteau and Tone Bell, you can't go wrong. So y'all watch Survival of the Thickest. And finally, okay, I'm cheating a little bit, y'all. I know I'm not supposed to do this because this is not normally the kind of thing that we cover. But I don't know if y'all know, I'm sure you do, we're in the middle of a big strike in Hollywood. So there is, the writers went on strike first, And then the actors went on strike because the studios are acting a whole ass. They're being like super, super. This is an important moment because this is the whole thing, right, y'all? The studios are being like super hyper capitalist, super gritty, super nasty. They leaked a memo from the studios that said they wanted to be able to scan the image of an actor, pay them for a half a day's work, and then use their image in perpetuity without ever paying them. Like, we're going to take a picture of you in 100 years from now. We might use your picture again and again and again. Next week, tomorrow, every day, for the rest of your life, you might see yourself on the screen, and we will only have paid you a measly half a day's work. Like, for why? Bob Marley, you made $24 million last year. For why do you need to use these people's image for the rest of their life for free? This is ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense at all. Like, what? Can we use your image for the rest of your life? For a half a day's work? You would never. That's enough. So my point is, there's a big strike. And so many of the actors and other folks who are involved in really, really cool projects that are coming out right now are not allowed contractually to promote their work. And so there is a movie coming out next week. I think the release date, let me look it up. I think the release date is the 28th of July. And it's like a Disney movie. Shout out to Bob Iger again. You know you wrong, but you want to get it together. The Haunted Mansion. So if anybody who's been to Disney World or Disneyland, I'm sure you've been on the Haunted Mansion ride. I've been like 150 times. And every time I love it so much. Well, Disney has decided to turn it into a movie. And guess who's the director? What? Justin Simien. Now, if you all remember, Justin Simien was the director of Dear White People. Yeah, y'all remember him from back in the day? Yes, we love him, right? Yes. Well, he finally got a break and got a big studio movie and a big budget with lots of stars and tricks and CGI and all that stuff. And he can't promote his film, and none of his actors can promote his film. So I'm going to promote his film. So everyone go see Haunted Mansion on July 28th. It actually has some folks that we love in the film. Rosario Dawson is in there. You know we love Rosario, not only for her work in the community, but also because of her work in Star Wars. Y'all know we mess with her. Tiffany Haddish is in there. Lakeith Stanfield. You know how much we love Lakeith Stanfield? Hassan Minaj with his fine, funny self. Do you see what's happening here? All the people that we love, they're in this movie. It's so crazy that they all ended up in this big old Disney movie with a Black director, but yet it happened, right? So we got to go see it, even though none of them they can't do no red carpet, they can't do no press, they can't be on the Instagram, they can't do anything. So it's important for us, in the spirit of Black abundance, because we want Justin to experience his abundance. We're going to support him and see that movie. It's going to be amazing. Maybe we'll do our next episode about it just to be obnoxious. Maybe. Yeah? I don't know. All right. So that's the top 3. Y'all make sure y'all check out the new Killer Mike album. Check out Survival of the Thickest. I'm going to check it out this week. And check out Haunted Mansion when it comes out next week. And we thank all of our artists for supporting us. In a minute, we're going to talk about this movie I've been talking about for a year. It's going to happen. It's finally happening. I'm so excited. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Let's go. Okay? Okay. I'm so excited about this. Okay. On season 4, probably the most I got excited the whole time. First of all, let's just acknowledge that on season 4, I almost talked about John Boyega every episode. Like, legit every episode. Everybody knows I'm obsessed with John Boyega. Not like in that kind of way, because like he's a young man. I'm a little, you know what I'm saying? It's more like a big sister, super proud, and we love your work kind of way. I'm not saying the man ain't fine. Did you see him in The Woman King as King Gazo? My Jesus, my Lord. Every scene we were like, why would he look like that in person? Why would he look like that on TV? Close your eyes. Okay, I'm not taking away from that. I'm just saying it's not, I don't have that feeling for him. It's okay. I don't have to be crushing on everybody. Y'all know I be here crushing on people. I don't have to have a crush on everybody. But John Boyega is probably my favorite actor right now, my favorite personality. I just love how he shows up in the world. I love how he chooses his roles. I love how he shows up on social media. I love how he shows up for Black women and Black people and for his culture. I also love him because he don't care about your feelings, and he gonna tell you what's up. He don't care about Disney's feelings. He don't care about Hollywood's feelings. He does not care. He only cares about what's true for him, and I love that about him. And his acting is chef's kiss, 10 out of 10. Now, the most exciting conversation we had about John Boyega on season 4 was when they released the announcement that John Boyega and Jamie Foxx were doing a movie together on Netflix, and it was called, because it's enough for the two of them to be in the same movie, but on top of all that, it's a Black speculative fiction movie called They Cloned Tyrone. What? Y'all know I lost my freaking mind over that, okay? I lost my mind. I was very excited. I've been tracking very closely. I've been reading the articles. I've been watching the trailers, and y'all know I don't watch trailers because I want to be surprised, but I have been doing all the things. And finally, this week, They Cloned Tyrone came on Netflix. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I couldn't watch it on Friday because I was in a retreat and a lot of work to do. I was very sleepy. But if you don't think I didn't wake my Black behind up at 8 o'clock in the morning on Saturday morning and press play, you know I did. And I sat there and watched the whole thing. First of all, I just want to take a moment to send some love to Jamie Foxx. Because we all know Jamie Foxx has been having some health challenges. And he finally came out and did a video the other day. Also, like, Jamie Foxx and John Boyega and the rest of the cast are also in a position where they also cannot promote this film. So we're not really seeing much of them lately. Now, we did see John Boyega on stage with Erykah Badu the other night when they were in Atlanta, okay? Because Erykah decided to use her privilege and get on stage and say, I want to meet John Boyega. Does anybody know John Boyega? I'm telling y'all because I know somebody here knows John Boyega. And how about the next show, John Boyega walks out on the stage hugging Erykah Badu? I was like, Erykah, you know, that's not cool, Erykah. We can't do that. Why would you do that to us? It's not fair. It's not fair. Anyway, so we've not seen a lot of them. Jamie Foxx, both because he's been ill, he was in the hospital. There was a big thing about, like, I don't really want to go into this, y'all, because y'all was getting on my nerves trying to speculate about Jamie Foxx and talking about what he wasn't doing and all that. And do you know, people are wild. So Jamie Foxx was in the hospital. He was ill. And then last week we saw him on a yacht and he was waving, hello. Why did somebody call my friend and say, that's not even him. They cloned him. What are y'all talking about? What? Can the man be well on his own, in his own room without having to tell y'all everything? God, dog. They cloned Jamie Foxx? How did they get him to grow up so fast? Because you know, when you clone something, it becomes a baby, right? If you even can do that. Can you even do that? I don't know. But what I know you cannot do is have a grown man in 2 weeks. That's what I know you can't do. Y'all are wild. I bet that was the same man who tried to tell me that the earth was flat. But we're not going to go there, okay? All y'all Black people out here with your 21st century conspiracy theories, y'all need to cut it out. Y'all sound crazy. Jamie Foxx was not cloned, and the earth is just as round as it was last year, okay? We're going to move on. So, Jamie Foxx actually had a video on Instagram yesterday, I think, or the day before, where he was, like, thanking people for loving on him so hard and saying, like, I just didn't want y'all to see me like that. He is very thin, but he looks really good, and I'm really happy he's back, especially because this movie's out, right? So, like, that's so terrible. I'm happy he's better because his movie came out. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I'm happy he's better because we want him to be better, and also his movie came out. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out how to tell y'all how I feel about this movie without giving the plot away, because, well, maybe we'll say this. Maybe we'll say, if you haven't seen it already, which, how dare you, then maybe you should pause and then go watch the movie and come back, because I might give some spoilers. I'm going to try really hard not to. So this movie, Tiana Paris is in it. You know, we love Tiana Paris. John Boyega, who y'all know who that is, and Jamie Foxx. And also Kiefer Sutherland, who was like one of my favorite actors. And also, David Allen Greer makes a cameo in the movie, which, I mean, he's one of the funniest people out here. Oh my God. You know who else is in this movie? Who I didn't know he was in the movie, and then when I saw his face, I was about to die. J. Alphonse Nicholson from P-Valley. Y'all know how we feel about him. Okay, he is our favorite, and we love him, and we can't wait till the writers and the actors come off strike when they get a fair, abundant deal from the studio so that P-Valley could go back into production, because they did get renewed for a third season, and we're patiently waiting, chomping at the bit, waiting for it to come on. Okay, great. Okay, back to They Cloned Tyrone. So, this movie is a very aesthetically giving blaxploitation film. The music, the language and the vernacular, the costumes, the movements, like the tone of the film, the direction is all very, very, very blaxploitation. So if you're a blaxploitation fan, this movie is your jam. And don't like blaxploitation and speculative fiction stuff, you're gonna like, it's gonna be the best movie you ever saw. It's so good. The movie really deals with like, see, I really don't want to tell you what happens. This is what happens to me every episode. I want to have a whole robust conversation with you, and I also don't want to tell you what happens. But let's just say this. The movie is really about this man, whose name is not Tyrone, by the way. I was like, wait, who is Tyrone? Why they can't call this man's name is not Tyrone? His name is not Tyrone. John Boyega's character is not named Tyrone. But it's about this man. He is participating in the, let's say, underground economy, and he gets into a pickle with this other man who is also involved in the underground economy. And they uncover a truth about their neighborhood, that people are being cloned. It's wild the way they found out. It is wild the way when they found out why people are being cloned and what happens to the people who are being cloned, what happens when the clones die. This movie is wild. It is so imaginative, but this is exactly the kind of thing that we've come to expect from macro. So I think that we also talk about macro all the time. Charles King, have y'all heard me say that name before? I'm sure you have. Charles King is the president and the founder of macro. So macro, Charles King is one of my modern day cinematic heroes. He started out as an agent, and then he got like big to the top of his field. He was the biggest Black agent in Hollywood, and then he started his own film company. So macro was responsible for films like Mudbound that had Mary J. Blige in 2017. He did Fences with Denzel and Viola in 2016. Sorry to Bother You was theirs. Raising Dion on Netflix, and I think we talked about Raising Dion in this show twice. I love that show. Judas and the Black Messiah, which we definitely talked about on this show. And now they Cloned Tyrone. So Charles King and his wife and their company are doing incredibly innovative Black storytelling right now. We love them so much. We love Charles King. They also are doing a lot of stuff in community. They have an investment firm in addition to their film firm, and they have a whole talent agency. So they're really thinking about ecosystem level Black abundance, empowerment, making sure that the stories that our stories are being told. Charles King is on top of that, okay? On top of that. And They Cloned Tyrone is no different. This movie talks about social issues. It talks about beauty. It talks about love and community. It talks about connection. It talks about self-introspection. Has all the things. It has all the things that the Big Weed podcast listeners love. So if you haven't watched the movie, please go see it. Hit us up and let us know what you thought about it, because I want to know what you think, okay? I just want y'all to know that I'm not the only one excited about They Cloned Tyrone, because this week on Netflix, it's been #1 on Netflix all weekend long. So even with the strike, even with no promo, even with no press and all of that, They Cloned Tyrone is still doing booming business on the Netflix. So if you haven't seen it, you might be the only person. So get it together. Episode 1 coming soon. This, I can't even tell you how excited I am about this. I heard about this last week, and I couldn't wait to tell y'all. I hope that you already know, but if you don't, aren't you lucky you have me? So, January 12th, coming soon, is the movie that we literally have all over the world have been waiting for. They are releasing a biopic about Bob Marley. What? Oh my God, I'm so excited. I don't know. Wait, how come there has never been a biopic about Bob Marley? Can you tell me this? I literally was like, wait a minute, is there not one? No, there's not one. How come there's never been one? But I'm so happy they waited. So first of all, the family is completely involved. So Ziggy Marley and Cedella Marley and Rita Marley are all producers on the film. So this is like the storytelling coming from the family. I'm so excited to see it. And do you know who is starring? First of all, the movie is called One Love. It's coming out January 12th, 2024. Put it in your calendars. Meet me at the movie theater. And it stars Kingsley Ben-Adir. Do y'all know who that is? I first saw Kingsley Ben-Adir in 2 seasons ago, I think it was, when we talked about High Fidelity, okay? Do you remember that show? High Fidelity is the show that Zoe Kravitz starred in that also starred my then and current celebrity crush, Rainbow Sun Franks, okay? So Rainbow Sun Franks is like, not many people know who he is, but of course I always have to find the people who are amazing, even if no one knows who they are. He is a Sagittarius, so we can't ever date him. We understand that, but we can still love him from afar. He is in like a very obscure science fiction thing from like the early 2000s. So like, but also he's Cree Summer's brother. So y'all know Cree Summer from A Different World, who is like a cajillionaire voice actress now. Her brother, Rainbow Franks, was in this show with Zoe Kravitz, and Zoe Kravitz's love interest was played by Kingsley Ben-Adir. He also was in that movie One Night in Miami. He played Malcolm X, that movie with Malcolm X and Cassius Clay, Muhammad Ali, and somebody else was in the room, but it was played by Leslie Odom Jr. I can't remember who he played. But my point is, y'all know this man. You know him. He is like a British actor. Just go look him up, okay? Because he's what? Fine. And what else? Talented. And what else? He's about to be playing Bob Nesta Emma effing Marley, okay? And we're excited, aren't we? We're excited. We're excited. So that's our coming soon. You know we're going to talk about that movie like 8 more times before 2024 comes. So don't worry. I'll probably mention it every episode because it's going to be the most important movie of 2024. I don't really understand why they're putting it out in January. I would like someone to tell me because that should be the Christmas blockbuster of life. Don't you think? Who goes to the movies in January? Literally no one. I don't know. Normally in the films, we have something for Christmas and then things don't like slow down until March. So I don't know the decision making that's happening. I'm sure someone knows much better than I. We're just praying and hoping that the strike is over by then because we want all the folks to be able to promote this movie, get out of this. I'm burying the headline. Guess who else is in this movie? Guess who is playing Rita Marley? Can you guess? Lashana Lynch. What? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, we definitely talked about Lashana Lynch in the last season because Lashana Lynch was in The Woman King. She was the one with the sharp nails who was jugging people in the neck and was like the teacher for all the people, like everyone's favorite. Lashana Lynch is playing Rita Marley. Do you know how amazing she's about to be? Oh my God, this movie is going to be life-giving. Okay? So we're all going to pray that the corporate oligarchs at the top of the studio stop being so nasty and greedy and understand that we're all human beings and we all need to have our share of our abundance. They're going to understand and open their hearts and believe that there's enough for everyone, and they're going to stop acting like this. They're going to resolve the strike in a way that is equitable and fair and presents a culture of love in Hollywood, and then we'll be able to see everybody promote this show. Now, let me tell y'all something. Have y'all watched Succession? because I just finished watching it. I know I'm late. Get out of my business. But I just started watching it, and I finished it like 2 days ago. Baby, this corporate greed is going to kill us. Y'all hear me? It's going to kill us. We're going to talk about this more as the season goes on. Black abundance, black abundance, black abundance. And we all know that abundance for some is not abundance. It's still scarcity. Okay? We're going to be talking about this a lot. Abundance is where it's at. Abundance of love, abundance of access, abundance of joy, abundance of health and wealth, abundance. Okay? That's the name of the game for season 5. Next episode is going to be so special because it's my birthday coming up, and we're having a big old trip, and all my favorite friends and my favorite family is coming, and I'm going to perform my first, I said perform, that's hilarious. Welcome to Leo season. I'm going to record my very first podcast with guests that are my family. I have no idea what we're going to talk about, but it's going to be awesome. And we're going to be at the beach. And oh my God, I'm going to see the Galactic Star Cruiser. So you know we're going to talk about that on the next episode. Do y'all remember? Okay. Fans of the Love Over Empire podcast, I'm going to mention it again. Have you listened to the Love Over Empire podcast? Because it's amazing, and it's a look at the Star Wars canon through the lens of Black imagination. And on that podcast, we interviewed my very good friend, Michael Tara Garver, who was the immersive designer for the Star Wars hotel, the Galactic Star Cruiser. And next week, your girl is going to be boarding a spaceship for Jakku. And I couldn't be more excited. Hey, I'm going to have an outfit. We're going to have a photo shoot on the ship. I'm going to be in my full nerd mode, y'all. Y'all don't even know. I'm going to nerd the F out next week, okay? And when I have my next episode, I'm going to tell you all about it. So look at my Instagram for pictures because it's going to be on there all over the place, okay? Well, that's all I have to say about that. Episode 1 of season 5 is in the can. I'm very excited. Thank y'all for coming back. I love y'all so much. Y'all know I do the podcast for fun. It's like what I do in my spare time for fun. Thank you for coming back. If you want to keep up with the Big We Foundation, make sure you like and follow this podcast wherever you get your podcasts. And if you really love us, and I know you do, leave us a review. Share with your friends. Okay, great. Maybe we'll get what do you call them things? A Patreon, so you can give us $2 a month. What do you think about that? Yeah. And follow us on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter at The Big We. If you're nice to us, we'll get a TikTok. I'm not ready for that. You can also follow me, Anasa Troutman, on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. And that new thing, Threads. Have we talked about that? We'll talk about it next episode. I don't have it in me, but the Threads situation. And I heard today they're rebranding Twitter. They're going to have a new name or whatever. What's happening? What is happening with these people? It doesn't matter because the episode's over. Let's go back to the credits. Okay. And if you want to talk to me or you have a question or you want us to recommend something on the podcast, you can actually just send me a text message to my phone. The number is 901-676-7372. That's 901-676-7372. It comes right here. Okay? Okay, great. Shout out to Kelvin Woods of Eunice Studios. It's a beautiful new space that we're in. Thank you for having us. And to our number one friend, Princeton James, for co-producing the podcast. All right. This has been a love offering from the Big We family. We'll see you out in the Weverse. Big shout out to the Big We Foundation, Historic Playboy Temple, and all of our Big We family and friends in the entire Weverse. From the House of Abundance, this is Anasa Troutman. Love you much.